What's going on, guys? Halo Kid 100 here, and today we are doing the Call of Duty Hunger Games. So I'm gonna run through the districts real quick and get this started. So District 1 we have Price and Soap. District 2 Ghost and Roach. District 3 Gaz and Griggs. District 4 Ethan and Reyes, my personal favorite. District 5 Salter and Omar. District 6 Section and Harper. District 7, Reznov and Dimitri. District 8, Mason and Woods. District 9, Hudson and Weaver. District 10, Makarov and Yuri. District 11, Adler and Park. District 12, Farah and Alex. Okay, those are all the districts, and before we start, comment down below who are you rooting for, and let's get this started. As the tributes stand on their podiums, the horn sounds. Weaver runs away from the cornucopia. Ethan runs away from the cornucopia. Alex runs away from the cornucopia. Harper grabs a backpack, not realizing it is empty. Idiot. Woods runs into the cornucopia and hides. Interesting strategy. Yuri spears Mason in the abdomen right off the bat. Yuri kills Mason. Roach runs away from the cornucopia. Soap runs away from the cornucopia. Section runs away from the cornucopia. Salter takes a handful of throwing knives. Interesting. Griggs runs away from the cornucopia. Ghost rips a mace out of Adler's hands. Okay. Farah scares Dimitri away from the cornucopia. Reznov finds a backpack full of camping equipment. Gaz runs into the cornucopia and hides. Alright. Hudson scares Price away from the cornucopia. Reyes and Makarov fight for a bag. Reyes gives up and retreats. Park scares Omar away from the cornucopia. Alright, nothing interesting happens. Day 1. Hudson sets off an explosive, killing Alex, Woods, Ethan, and Soap. Ethan, come on, I was rooting for you, man. Alright, right off the bat, Hudson just got a 4 kill. Harper stalks Dimitri. Price attacks Yuri, but he manages to escape. Gaz steals from Section while he isn't looking. Roach stalks Farah. Ghost receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Omar defeats Park in a fight but spares her life. Makarov receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Alright. Griggs injures himself. Reyes discovers a river. Weaver is pricked by thorns while picking berries. Probably how he lost his eye. Reznov ambushes Adler and kills him, so Adler is dead. And Salter injures herself. 6 cannon shots can be heard in the distance for Mason, Alex, Woods, Ethan, Soap, and Adler. Night 1. Section, Harper, and Yuri discuss the games and what might happen in the morning. Park tends to Weaver's wounds. Salter destroys Farah's supplies while she is asleep. Omar, Hudson, Griggs, Ghost, and Reyes sleep in shifts. Dimitri starts a fire. Reznov screams for help. Price and Roach talk about the tribute still alive. Gaz goes to sleep, and Makarov passes out from exhaustion. Day 2. Ghost receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Harper is unable to convince Reyes not to kill him, so Harper's dead. Makarov diverts Roach's attention and runs away. Section sprains his ankle while running away from Dimitri. Gaz throws a knife into Reznov's chest, so Reznov is dead now. Griggs camouflages himself in the bushes. Price runs away from Yuri. Salter travels to higher ground. Omar and Weaver fight Hudson and Farah. Hudson and Farah survive, so Omar and Weaver are dead. And Park explores the arena. 4 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Harper, Reznov, Omar, and Weaver are all dead. Night 2. Ghost and Dimitri talk about the tributes still alive. Griggs, Salter, Park, and Yuri tell each other ghost stories to lighten the mood. Alright. Farah quietly hums. Price thinks about winning. Priorities. Roach starts a fire. Gaz tries to sing himself to sleep. Section stays awake all night. Reyes climbs a tree to rest. Makarov screams for help, and Hudson also thinks about winning. Day 3. Gaz receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Griggs tries to spearfish with a trident. Dimitri forces Makarov to kill Ghost or Roach. He decides to kill Ghost. Ghost cannot just catch a break, man. He just needs to stop dying. Price diverts Hudson's attention and runs away. Section searches for firewood. Salter receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Park sprains her ankle while running away from Yuri. Farah camouflages herself in the bushes. Reyes discovers a river. One cannon shot can be heard in the distance for a ghost. Night 3. Roach goes to sleep. Section attempts to start a fire but is unsuccessful. Hudson goes to sleep. Yuri cooks his food before putting his fire out. Park tends to her wounds. Reyes stays awake all night. Griggs climbs a tree to rest. Dimitri tries to sing himself to sleep. Salter thinks about winning. Farah thinks about winning. Makarov and Gaz huddle for warmth. And Price thinks about winning as well. Alright. Day 4. Dimitri sees smoke rising in the distance but decides not to investigate. Good choice. Roach and Yuri hunt for other tributes. Section question his sanity. Makarov and Price split up to search for resources. Reyes diverts Farah's attention and runs away. Salter discovers a river. Griggs travels to higher ground. Hudson diverts Gaz's attention and runs away. Park sees smoke rising in the distance but decides not to investigate. Good job. Arena event. The remaining tributes begin to hallucinate. Makarov survives. Section drowns Roach, who he thought was a shark trying to eat him. Damn, bro got drowned. Salter survives. Gaz mistakes Dimitri for a bear and kills him. Honestly, reasonable. Hudson survives. Park drowns Farah, who she thought was a shark trying to eat her. Yuri survives. Price drowns Griggs, who he thought was a shark trying to eat him. Reyes survives. 4 cannon shots can be heard in the distance for Roach, Dimitri, Farah, and Griggs. Night 4. Price thinks about winning. Section and Reyes huddle for warmth. Makarov cries himself to sleep. Hudson kills Gaz with his own weapon. Damn. Okay. Park goes to sleep. Salter questions her sanity, and Yuri tends to his wounds. Okay. The feast. The cornucopia is replenished with food, supplies, weapons, and memoirs from the tribute's families. Section does not go to the feast. Price spears Hudson in the abdomen, so Hudson's reign of terror is over. Yuri severely injures Reyes but puts him out of his misery, so Reyes is dead, sadly. Makarov dies from an infection. Bro just had to take care of himself. Park decides not to go, and Salter decides not to go. Day 5. Salter ambushes Section and kills him. Yuri scares Park off, and Price thinks about home. 5 cannon shots can be heard in the distance for Gaz, Hudson, Reyes, Makarov, and Section. Night 5. Park sees a fire but stays hidden. Price is awoken by nightmares. Salter receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor, and Yuri starts a fire. Day 6. Park searches for a water source. Yuri fishes. Salter overpowers Price, killing him. So Salter is in the top 3 now. 1 cannon shot can be heard in the distance, just for Captain Price. Night 6. Yuri cries himself to sleep. Salter sets up camp for the night. Park looks at the night sky. Salter severely injures Yuri and leaves him to die. And Park dies from an infection. 2 cannon shots can be heard in the distance for Yuri and Park. So that means the winner is Salter from District 5. So for the placements, we have Salter with 3 kills, Park with 1 kill, Yuri with 2 kills, Price with 2 kills, Section with 1 kill, Makarov with 1 kill, Reyes with 1 kill, Hudson, the MVP, with 7 whopping kills, Gaz with 2 kills, Griggs has none, Farah got 2 kills, Dimitri got none, Roach got none, Ghost got none, Weaver got none, Omar got 1, Reznov got 1, Harper got none, Adler got none, Soap got none, Ethan, you disappointed me, man. Wanted you to win. He got none. Woods got none, Alex got none, and Mason, the first death among the people, got none. Here is the summary. And that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Consider liking and subscribing. Turn on post notifications. Help me get to 1,000 subscribers. And comment down below, who were you rooting for in the comment section. I am thinking about making this a series by putting in different characters from other kinds of media. And take care. Halo Kid 100 signing off.